The ex-Navy SEAL thought he'd left war behind him forever, until he watched a trembling woman slide a small bottle back across the pharmacy counter and whisper, "It's okay, my puppy can wait." In that moment, something inside him snapped. What he did next didn't just save a life. It restored faith in humanity, and it changed every person who witnessed it. He was only supposed to pick up aspirin. That's what Marcus Hale told himself as he stepped into the small neighborhood pharmacy, the bell above the door chiming softly. The smell of disinfectant and paper bags brought back a strange mix of memories: field hospitals, quiet nights, the thin line between life and loss. Marcus adjusted the sleeves of his hoodie, the faint scars on his wrists hidden but never forgotten. Being an ex-Navy SEAL meant people expected strength, confidence, answers. What they never saw was the weight he still carried when the world went quiet. He took his place in line and waited. That's when he noticed her. She stood 2 people ahead, clutching a cardboard box with holes punched in the sides. From inside came a faint whimper, fragile and scared. The woman's coat was too thin for the cold outside, her shoes worn down at the heels. Her hair was pulled back carelessly, not out of style but necessity. She kept glancing down at the box, whispering reassurances only love could invent. "It's okay, Perpy," she murmured. "I'm here." Marcus frowned slightly. Perpy. When it was her turn, the pharmacist, a tired man with kind eyes, rang up the prescription. The number on the small screen seemed to steal the color from the woman's face. Her fingers tightened around the edge of the counter. I'm sorry," she said quietly. "I thought it would be less. I only have this much." She laid a few crumpled bills and coins on the counter, counting twice, then once more, as if hoping the total might change out of mercy. "I can't release the medicine without full payment," the pharmacist said gently. "I'm really sorry." The woman nodded, lips pressed together to stop them from shaking. She didn't argue. She didn't cry. She simply reached forward, slid the small bottle back across the counter, and whispered words that would follow Marcus for the rest of his life. "Then, I'll return it. My puppy needs it, but I'll find another way." Another way. Marcus felt his chest tighten. He'd seen men braver than he ever claimed to be break under pressure. He'd heard last words echo in darkness. But nothing hit him quite like watching someone choose loss so quietly, so selflessly, because poverty had cornered her with no place to run. As she turned away, hugging the box closer to her chest, the puppy whimpered again, weak, pleading, unaware of the world's cruelty. Marcus didn't think. He moved. "Wait," he said, his voice steady but urgent. The woman froze, eyes wide, fear flickering across her face as if she expected judgment or trouble. People like her were used to that. Marcus stepped forward, pulled out his wallet, and placed it on the counter. "Ring it up again," he told the pharmacist. "All of it." The woman shook her head instantly. No, I can't." "You're not taking charity," Marcus said softly, meeting her eyes. "You're letting someone do the right thing." She stared at him, disbelief warring with exhaustion. Tears welled, but she blinked them back stubbornly. "I don't even know you," she whispered. Marcus gave a small, sad smile. "That's okay. I know enough." The pharmacist completed the transaction, sliding the medicine across the counter once more, this time toward hope instead of despair. The woman took it with shaking hands. "I'm Lila," she said, voice barely audible. "And this is Perpy. He's all I have." Marcus nodded. "Then he's everything." As she walked out into the cold, clutching her puppy's medicine like a lifeline, Marcus thought that was the end of it. He was wrong. Marcus sat in his truck for a long time, hands resting on the steering wheel, engine off. The image wouldn't leave him. Lila's hollow eyes, Perpy's weak whimper, the way she had returned hope without complaint. He had survived firefights and funerals, but this felt like a different kind of battle. And he wasn't done fighting. He followed her. Not in a threatening way, just enough to see where she went. Lila walked 3 blocks, then another 2, until the storefronts faded into older buildings with peeling paint and boarded windows. She stopped at a narrow alley beside an abandoned laundromat, crouched down, and gently opened the box. Perpy was smaller than Marcus expected, thin, ribs visible, fur dulled by illness. Lila cradled him like a child, carefully giving him the medicine, whispering encouragements as if love alone could heal bones and blood. Marcus stepped forward slowly. "He'll need warmth tonight," he said. "And food." Lila looked up, startled, then relaxed when she recognized him. "I know," she said. "I'll figure it out." Marcus exhaled. He'd heard that sentence too many times in too many places. It was what people said when they were out of options but refused to surrender. "I have a place," he said. "It's not fancy. But it's warm. And I know a vet, no charge." Silence stretched between them. "Why?" Lila finally asked. "Why are you doing this?" Marcus swallowed. "Because once someone helped me when I had nothing left. And because I couldn't live with myself if I walked away." That night, Perpy slept wrapped in a clean blanket on Marcus's couch. Lila cried in the bathroom, silently, shoulders shaking, not from sadness, but from relief. The kind that comes after carrying too much for too long. Days turned into weeks. Perpy recovered. His eyes brightened, his tail wagged, his strength returned. Lila found temporary work at a nearby diner after Marcus helped her rewrite a resume she hadn't touched in years. He never acted like a hero. He never reminded her what he'd done. He just showed up, rides to work, groceries left quietly on the counter, vet visits scheduled and paid for before anyone could argue. One afternoon, Marcus set up a small camera in the living room. He recorded Lila telling her story, not for pity, but for truth. He shared it online with a simple caption. "Kindness costs less than indifference." The video spread faster than either of them imagined. People donated. A local shelter offered Lila permanent housing. A veterinary clinic sponsored Perpy's future care. Messages poured in from strangers who said they cried, who said they believed again, who said they'd help the next person they saw struggling. Marcus watched it all quietly, standing in the background, arms crossed, eyes wet. He didn't save the world. He didn't perform some grand miracle. He simply refused to let kindness end at a pharmacy counter. Months later, Marcus visited the same pharmacy. The bell chimed again. The pharmacist smiled knowingly. "Good to see you," he said. Marcus nodded, then glanced outside. Lila stood across the street, laughing as Perpy, healthy, strong, alive, pulled playfully at the leash. Marcus smiled. Because sometimes, the bravest thing a warrior can do is choose compassion when no one is watching.